Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kearsey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. So I am at Springfield now, and I've heard some great news that later I'll post the link to the other video. But I think it's really important in these times that we're dealing with such negativity. And I always try to look for some good things, some positive things for us to talk about and discuss. And I found out today that Prime donated $750,000 to help build a hospital wing for COVID patients. Hi, Chasing America. Thanks for showing up. But they're also going to do some of that plasma experimental type of treatments for the COVID, and they're getting with the Mayo Clinic. So it's a really cool video that it's Cox Health Center Health Clinic in Springfield, Missouri, and they put out a video thanking Prime for their contributions. And it was kind of interesting. There was also an article in one of the local papers, and the administrator of the hospital was saying that when he asked Prime, he also explained that that because it's a temporary situation, hopefully with this virus, that it's just going to come through and that's it, that maybe next year when this is all over, they may be knocking down that wing of the hospital. So they weren't really sure if Prime was going to want to donate. And Robert Lowe, the owner of Prime, turned around and said, yeah, we'll totally fund it, the $750,000. And I think that's awesome. It's so cool to work for such an awesome company. So I'm guessing you guys can hear me. Say, hey, yeah, woohoo. John and Hans, hello. Little Al, how you doing tonight? Where is everybody? How's everybody doing? And I need all of you guys to comment below with something positive that's going on. Just because I'm sick of all this negativity. The media is fighting, the politicians are fighting. It's just crazy. Yo, Captain Banana, how are you tonight? Where are you? For those of you who don't know, Captain Banana is still in TNT training. He was PSD, which is our schooling version, with another YouTube trucker, Twisted Big D, did his schooling portion. Oh, Truck Rider, there you go. Now, if you guys don't know, Truck Rider just upgraded. He was here at Prime this week, so I just ran into him today, which was really cool. So, but craziness has been going. Hey, you're surrounded by Prime wrenches. Actually, Chasing America is not Prime. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh, yeah. Well, chicken processing plants in Arkansas suck. I'm sorry. You'll get used to them. At home drinking beer. Well, I'm glad you're home drinking beer instead of on the road. But the loads have been crazy out here, but thank God Prime really, we have loads, which I'm hearing from other company drivers of other companies, that some of these companies don't have loads. So luckily for us, woohoo, we're doing good. I did have a screw up with the load we have right now. We picked up in California. The customer had like 3 different plants in the area that were about 150 miles apart. They gave us an appointment for 9 a.m. We get there at 7 a.m. They tell us that they didn't have the product, that it wouldn't be until 1300, but they put us on a door. So we're sitting in a door all day. 1300 rolls around. I'm like, what's it looking like? He says, oh, I don't know. And then 1500 rolls around. He's like, we still don't have the product and we're supposed to be closing soon. So I'm like, well, what's going on? And then he says, oh, wait a minute. We don't have you on our list. And I'm like, what? He says, yeah, we have this load, but we only have one, and there's 2 of you Prime drivers here to pick up the same load, and, we don't know what to do about it. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that 8 hours ago? Hello? And it turned out that that shipper when they ordered the product, they gave Prime the wrong information, and they told Prime to send 2 trucks to the one location. It should have been 1 truck to one location and 1 truck to another. So, oh, Tina drove on the training pad today, first time ever. Woohoo! How was it? Was it scary? I was afraid even backing over the cones. I was like, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna destroy it. Now I'm like, screw it. It's a cone. Run it over. It's meant to be run over, because if not, it wouldn't be in my way. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. But, you get over all that fear and anxiety. And after a while, you're actually impressed that you're past that fear and anxiety. You just, Trucker B, well, the former Trucker B, who is now Misfit Trucker, he did a video recently about becoming complacent. So the longer you drive, all of a sudden you start to feel real relaxed. And now you're not driving with 2 hands anymore. You're driving with 1 hand. And, you're drinking your coffee. And then the next thing you know, boom, you just had an accident. So, hey, Slim Shady, how you doing? I haven't done one of these lives in a while. It's been a few weeks. But I have some new ideas for the channel. I'm really getting better with the editing, I think. I got this new editing program, so a couple of you asked for some drone shots and things like that. So I'm just going to try to play with that a little bit. So tell me what you guys like and what you don't like when I put this stuff out, because, I don't want to be boring. I want to keep your attention. I like when everybody keeps telling me what they like and what they don't like. The editing, though, takes a little bit of time, which is hard to find when I'm teaming. And you'll find that, like, some of the videos, even that I've put up the past couple days, I made them a long time ago. I just still had them on the hard drive and never got around to actually using them. 1 hand on the steering wheel, 1 hand on the shifter. Yeah. But you're supposed to put that from the shifter right back. Tina's going to test soon, so she needs to know 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So what's going on with you guys? Like, the weather's been crazy out there. We drove through a ton of snow up in Buffalo. I think it was earlier this week. I don't know. When you're teaming, it just seems like days just run into each other, and you just don't know. Chasing America says it's very time consuming, but it's their favorite part. Yeah, it can be really cool to try to be creative, but at the same time, it's like, how creative do you become before, like, obviously we're not editors. We're not, movie producers or anything, I know, like, Billy Raines did a video about Happiness by the Mile, and her awesome editing, and she has somebody at production company, I guess it's her boyfriend or a friend or whatever, that follows her around and has these really cool drone shots, and it's like flying away, and all this slow motion cut stuff, and it'd be really cool for me to try to figure out how to do that, but that's hard to do. Hey Mark, how you doing? What's up with you? Where did you wind up? Because for those of you who don't know, Mark is one of my followers from truckingtruth.com, and he had a little bit of a problem with the start of his career, but I'm pretty sure last time I saw you landed somewhere. So where'd you land? Tornado tore through your hometown, nearly hit my mom's house. Chasing America. Oh my God. Wow. And speaking of the weather, did anybody look at the YouTube video? Michael Moore did this new environmental video, and it's called Planet of the Humans. Did anybody see that? Like, I feel like the whole world is going crazy. Like, seriously going crazy. No, Nene, I'm in Screamo. I'm up on the top floor in the lounge. And hi, Nene, how you doing? um, but that, if you're into like green and environmentalist type of issues, save the planet, check out Michael Moore's new movie. Uh, it's not actually his movie. He's not the narrator. Um, he is the executive producer, but it's free for a month on Michael Moore's YouTube channel. And it goes through all the solar panels and the costs and the windmills and like some of the side effects of these different alternative uh, means of energy, and it's not all good. And it's just like, wow, the whole world's crazy. I was blown away by that video, seriously. So Nene, where are you? Mark was run really hard in training, was pretty much forced into team driving, had a big issue with it. Yeah, team driving can be hard. I'm really finding out, and like Nene and I were on the phone recently, like, a couple weeks ago, where I was saying that I'm having a much easier time training with an experienced driver than I did with a student, because I don't really feel like, all that responsibility isn't on me anymore. And I can actually allow myself to go into a deep sleep. So, yeah, Nene, did you see that Prime donated $700,000 to Cox Health Clinic here in Springfield? And I thought that was really cool. Really cool. They're building 50-bed ICU unit, and they're doing experimental plasma treatments. Yeah, come on, girl, get the words out of your mouth. But I thought that was really cool, and uh, you know, Tina says that the pad was awesome. Tina, if you guys are just jumping in, Tina was on the backing pad for the first time today, and she's all excited. It was awesome. I jumped in like a boss. It really wasn't that nervous. Told myself I could always hit the brakes. Yeah, if you remember which one's the brake. I maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will. Okay. I knew a guy that he was on the backing pad and he got so excited that thought he was lining up all right, and he hollered out the window to somebody, "Hey, look at this!" And when he did, he put his foot on the pedal and went right over top of the curb and ran into the fence. He did wound up. He did wind up. He did wind up getting his license though. Yeah, Nene. Like it's on Cox Health YouTube site, and it's in the local papers here. Nobody here is talking about it, which I thought was weird, but it really makes me proud to know that I work for a company, for a man who, Robert Lowe is so caring, and I just think it's awesome. And the hospital even said to him, look, it's going to be a temporary facility, so I'm not sure if you really want to donate, or how much you want to donate, because next year, if COVID's gone, then we might just knock it down. We don't need, that many ICU beds that normally. So I was like, woohoo. Hans, they could have used the 750 grand on their drivers. I got news for you. We get everything we want. Okay? I am perfectly cool with this, and in all honesty, if they would have said to me, we're going to take 5 cents a mile from you to be able to do this, I would have done it. Seriously. There are trucking companies right now that are cutting back on people's bonuses. There are, it was This Guy Trucks was talking about the regular bonus at one company was $500, and it was cut back to $300. Misfit Trucker was just talking about one company is, reducing the pay by 5 cents a mile. And that's not to donate the money. That's just to keep their own businesses running. Um, so if my company is going to go and donate $700,000, you have to walk around this terminal and see how much money they spent on these terminals for us. I think it's crazy. Like, Prime sent out a video, I think it was last week's video, where they were talking about how all of the in-house people, the safety department and the fleet managers and everybody that's in-house, they're all home. They're working from home. Do you know who's here in the terminals? The mechanics, the food people, the housekeeping staff to make sure that we have showers and laundry and they're cleaning the terminal constantly, and our detail department to make sure that they have our televisions installed and our refrigerators installed and that we can get our trucks detailed so that we're comfortable. Like, really? I mean, I just, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't have found a better company for me. Seriously. No, don't say that, Kearsey. Uh-oh, I don't know what I said. I was on a tangent. Sorry. You won't get a 5-cent increase when profits through the roof protect your... Actually, yes, we do. Yes, we do. When the profits were through the roof in 2018, yeah, company drivers got a 2-cent a mile raise. Plus, we got a huge fuel bonus increase and an increase in the safety and on-time delivery bonuses. So, absolutely. When I started here, I started 39 cents a mile, I think, and now people that are here they're starting at 45 cents a mile and then 50 in the lightweights. So then if you add in everything else, we make some decent money. So it's not going to kill me to even donate. I'd be very proud if they turned around and said, "Hey, do you want to be included in this?" Absolutely. Han says, yes, had a team at Swift with mentor, almost killed him. Yeah, well, you know what? Some of us trainers almost killed our students too. Bernadette! Hey, if you guys don't know Bernadette, go check her out. Bernadette is flatbed. Woohoo! I give her some credit because I am not doing that. Where are you at today, Bernadette? Has anybody been driving through bad weather? Because it was so windy in California and I only have like 5,000 pounds in the box. And I was just waiting for the back of that trailer to go bouncing up and down. And I was like, oh, this isn't cool. And it was really hot too. And now I'm on my way back to Pitt. I'm going to Pittston. I'll be in Pittston tomorrow night. Anybody going to Pittston? Yeah, Bernadette said in one of her videos that she really likes her whole team. Like, we at Prime, we have the same fleet manager, the same payroll person, the same road assist person all the time. So we have like a support team that we get to know, which is really cool. And something that I did find impressive, my fleet manager, he's so funny. He is such a nice guy. I love this guy. He's working from home and he sent a message and said, look, the internets are slow because everybody's on them. Everybody's on the Wi-Fi's. Everybody's trying to log in the systems. And he was like, if you happen to call and you hear some screaming in the background, that's just my wife and my boys are in trouble. It's like, that's normal in my house, and he's really concerned about us. And he's like, I need you guys to stay safe and take care of yourselves. And I want you to know that even when I'm not officially on duty, I'm logging into the system and I'm reading through and I'm trying to make sure that, everything's running smoothly. So, and he says, if you guys have a problem when you think I'm not on, text my personal phone, my cell phone, and I'll log on and see what's going on and see if I could help you out. And I'm like, I don't know how you could ask for anything more. Seriously, you know. Yo, you just left Springfield. Oh man, I'm sorry. You gotta send me an email because we gotta talk on the phone. Nene knows I love talking on the phone. But so I really haven't been. No offense, I haven't really been paying too much attention to other channels just because it just seems like we just been running and running, and even with the loads that have so much time on them, like this one that we have tonight delivers in Jersey, which is only like 1,000 miles away, but it delivers on Monday. So we're gonna run it tonight and get into the Pittston tomorrow, and hopefully we could get something out of there. Bye, Mark. Thanks for stopping in. Yo, Marty, how you doing? Yeah. You know what I did do? I'm a klutz. I've said this in other videos. I'm a klutz. Clumsy Kearsey was my nickname growing up. And I broke my headset again. I broke this piece that holds your head in, like holds it to your head. I broke it off the other night, and I kept wearing it and thinking, oh, I'm gonna do a review on headsets because in 5 years I think this is my 5th one. And this last one lasted me 2 years, so that's pretty good. Yeah, freight slowing down. Especially with all the meat plants are closing, and they're closing some, and then they're opening some back up, and they're, sanitizing those. So it's been kind of up and down and crazy. There's been a lot of loads that are canceled. It seems like they have more of a demand for team freight right now, which CR England is now forcing everybody to go teaming. And of course, it's being bashed all over the internet and all over YouTube. But if you think about it, that's what they have to do right now because a lot of these companies don't want to place orders ahead of time. So they're waiting till the last minute to see exactly what they need, and then they want it like expedited, teamed in, and that makes sense. And if you're a trucking company, what are you going to do? You're going to try to meet the demand, especially if they're willing to pay you more to get that expedited. So I think that's better to have people, to try to have people team rather than lay people off. And there are a lot of companies out there that are laying off right now. A lot of local people are getting laid off. I have friends that at Old Dominion and Cisco that they just didn't see that coming. There's people at US Foods, they're all getting laid off. So, what's your guys' opinion on Houston strike? Captain Banana says, I'm so glad you talked me into joining the cult. The Houston strike, I really didn't see a video on it. I saw a couple different written articles on it, so I didn't see exactly how it was portrayed. I think that people have the right to strike. They have a right to protest. They have to do it legally. Apparently, they didn't have a permit, or the permit that they had said that they had to do it a particular way, and that's our First Amendment right to assemble. Absolutely agree with protesting. Over the years, I've protested a lot of things, including a child molester who basically raped a boy and his mother wound up shooting the man, and then they were trying to send her to jail for life. They let this guy off, and that happened in California. They let the guy off, and it made her go nuts, and she wound up shooting the guy. So they sent her to jail. And I protested that. You know what? It sounds terrible, but child molesters, no. They should either be jail, have their appendages cut off, or fingers cut off, or whatever, or die. I'm sorry. That sounds mean and that sounds critical, but, don't be ruining innocent people. Little kids shouldn't be put through that. I got it from Pittston, then got another bottle from Springfield. The Walmart in Springfield had sanitizer as well. Oh, wow. I didn't see any in the Springfield Walmart, but I wasn't really. So, Hans, what did you think of the protests? Like, some people are saying, well, this is a bad time to be protesting, but, and that fuel costs are down so much that they're not putting out as much, the owner ops aren't putting out as much, money. So, but the rates are so low. I know somebody that was like offered 75 cents, an owner op, offered 75 cents a mile, and just because like fuel is down doesn't mean that you should just break even. When you're talking about these guys that are spending $18,000, $20,000 a year for insurance, I know a guy who has 2 trucks, okay, and one of his drivers had a bad accident, so he's paying $100,000 a year for those 2 trucks. How's he supposed to pay the insurance, pay his drivers, pay the fuel, pay the maintenance, especially in a time where they're telling us that we're essential personnel and, we're heroes of the highway. Okay, well, if we're heroes of the highway, then at least pay these guys enough to deliver the loads and actually, make them some money. I know you're talking about truck protests. I know. But what I'm saying is it's a First Amendment right to protest. So it doesn't matter what you protest. If your goal is to plant trees or, change whatever it is you want changed. You want the paint on the wall changed at a public building or whatever. You have the right to protest. You just need to do it legally. You need to have permits in place, and you need to abide by the rules of those permits. So if they were abiding by the rules of the permits, okay, fine. Let them protest. I mean, but from what I read in the articles, and again, I didn't actually see any videos, it seemed like they actually blocked the roads. Well, you can't do that. I mean, that in itself is illegal. So, abide by the permits. You look like, I don't want to say sympathetic, but at least you look like responsible people. Block the roads where you're really doing a disservice to the public whose attention and sympathy you're trying to grab. It's kind of like a conflict. It's a conflict of your own interest. You're going against exactly what you want. But that's what I'm saying. If they close the highway, then that's wrong. But to say, okay, we're protesting, if they were all pulled on the shoulder of the road, I really wouldn't even care. But as far as, I think the whole Black Smokes Matters thing, the problem with truckers is that everybody's an A type of personality, and there's no one person that speaks for anybody, and there's no one organization, because every trucker knows more than the other. They all want to be the best. They all think that what they're doing is the best. You can't tell any of us anything. We're all hard-headed like that. I'm sorry, that's just, you have to be an A type of personality to be out here like that. And yeah, I saw that they got misdemeanors, and one of the women was arrested for something else, something more serious than that. Uh, was it like resisting arrest or something like that? Um, it's funny because just the terminology of black smoke matters. That's usually protests, liberal lefts, you know, they usually support protests and the working man that's standing up to Big Brother and that sort of thing. And then they used Black Smoke Matters, which kind of goes against the whole environmentalist issue. So that even in itself sort of defeated its purpose. I just think that they go around, they sort of do things the wrong way, and some people will say, well, negative attention is still attention. Well, no, it's not, because not in this case. When you want somebody on your side, you have to look like you're in the right. And when you're doing something that's wrong, and it's obviously wrong, and you're causing problems for other people, because that's what this is. Shutting down a highway, that's just ignorant of other people. But then again, protests all through the country right now, everybody's in their cars driving around Capitol buildings and around cities blowing their horns because social distancing. So how do you just find a different road? And you know what? The sad thing, though, is that they're not getting the attention that they really want anyway. I don't know anybody who's not a trucker that even heard about this. Like, I asked my mom, yo, Dirty Broke, how you doing? How you doing in Philly? Guys, Dirty Broke, he's somebody you guys really watch. Guy has a lot of knowledge, a lot of years. He's a company driver now. He does fuel tanker, but he owned trucks, owned a fleet. So you guys want to learn from him? Check him out. Kearsey gives good answers. Unfortunately, Kearsey sometimes runs her mouth too much and then realizes, oh, I shouldn't have said that. So then I have to go delete the video, the live feed. But, I mean, it's not so much a good answer. It's just, I try to see both sides of everything. And, like, I did that one video where I was trying to say that everybody has to put their labels aside. We have to forget they're a Democrat or Republican. We have to forget that we're, transgender and black and white and Jewish and Catholic or Muslim or whatever. We have to put all those labels aside and just be Americans right now, because this whole world is going nuts, and if we're fighting each other, we're not going to be able to fight this virus. We're not going to be able to fight even the misinformation and the rumors and stuff and the fear, because people are just panicking and they're fearful. So if we're fighting with each other, we can't do that. And then of course somebody posted on my video, oh, well, you said something about Democrats. Well, because that particular day the Democrats did something I didn't agree with. People keep asking my political views, and I'm like, what? I try not to tell people that, because in the state of New Jersey, I'm actually a registered independent, and in the state of New Jersey, as soon as I vote, they automatically declare my party. So every time I vote, if I want to go vote in a primary, I have to change from, like, say I voted for Obama, for example. They automatically made me a Democrat. So then I'd have to go back and change to an independent again for the next election. And then if I voted Republican in that election, then they would, automatically make me a Republican. So I have to constantly, like, every time I vote, I have to go back and have my party affiliation change, because I'm not one that's going to stick with parties. I'm going to stick with people. I want somebody that has good ideas. I want somebody that's, not just going to put their head down in the sand and expect everything to change. We have to work together, which is one thing that I really do like about all you guys in the YouTube community. It's really cool to find people that are positive and are willing to work together. Everybody does shout outs to each other. It's really cool. And you know what, Marty? You were saying in RD's live feed something about Saturday, and I have no idea what you were talking about. What were you talking about? John, yeah, I mean, like, they want to get on the news, but the Black Smoke Matter thing, when they were arguing about the logs, and then they were saying, "Oh, well, I've been driving for 20 years. I've had my company, and now I have to come off the road, and I'm getting out of trucking because they're gonna destroy me. They're gonna put me in the poorhouse," all because they couldn't run on paper logs. Well, all that meant was that they've been driving illegally for a long time. The laws didn't change. The regulations, the hours of service regulations didn't change. Just how we record them changed. So if they were recording them properly to begin with, it wouldn't have been a big issue for the ELDs. Now their argument of, "Oh, well, I have to pay for it." Well, guess what? I'm sorry, but that's the risk you took when you decided to become an owner-op. You have to pay for it. What would have happened if, say, California changed their emissions laws again? Now you have a choice of not running in California, or you have to pay to upgrade your exhaust system. So there's certain things that you just have to deal with. Slim Shady, government is the real virus. I don't accept super chats. I don't know. There should be super chats available, and I appreciate it. I have gotten a few, but I really wonder how many people really voted. If they didn't vote, go sit in a corner. Isn't that the truth? And I was you guys probably don't know this. I have a degree in political science and history. And I was into politics even as a little kid, and in high school I volunteered. And I volunteered for both parties, which sounds crazy, but it was just my way of trying to figure out who had different ideas and how different, like, parties did things and how they interacted. And I actually worked for the polls. I wasn't old enough to vote, but I would call people up and say, "Hey, do you need a ride to come and vote today? Today's vote. Make sure you vote." And it wasn't even, when I did that, it wasn't even for a particular party. It was just the county office that I worked at. So when people don't get involved, it really makes me laugh. Or when people don't know what they're talking about, they listen to sound points, so talking points. So somebody that listens to CNN, Trump is evil, they're horrible, and then you listen to Fox and it's Trump's a god, so they don't even know. They don't ever listen and then go back and verify. And I'm one of those people that I hear things and then I go back and research everything. So I think that actually makes me a good trainer, though, or at least it did, because if I didn't know something, I made it a point to go ask a bunch of different people and then find the right person that would know the right answer. Let's protest taxes. Code 20 says let's all just go the sovereign citizen route. Isn't there some kind of there's some kind of a kingdom somewhere down south? I don't know if it's Texas or New Mexico, where there's a queen and it's an actual sovereign nation. I don't believe it's an Native American Indian group. And now that I just said that, I'm going to have to go look it up. I'm pretty sure I read it in one of my anthropology books years ago. And people are going to be like, why are you talking about this on a trucking channel? I don't know. But Captain Banana possibly has the coolest name on YouTube. Well, guess what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Captain, but he went to Prime in Pittston, and we have these yellow coats that are in all different layers, and the outer layer is like a long rain jacket. The inner layer like unzips from the jacket, from the raincoat, and it's kind of like winter thing, and then you can unzip the sleeves, and it's a vest. And he was so excited when he saw these. He's telling everybody, "Oh, go buy one, go buy one." I think that's how it came about. And Highway Junkie was in training at the same time too, so they both got the same jackets. Yeah. I think the sovereign citizens only follow rules set by the local sheriff, something like that. Oh, yeah, but see, I like our Constitution. You know, people don't realize this, but we're the only country in the world that actually does have freedom of speech. Like, people think, oh, well, Canada and England and everything. No, they don't. They don't have freedom of speech like we do. We have a constitutional right to freedom of speech. They can say things that is considered hate speech and be locked up. You know, and I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. You know, those are things that Nazi Germany did. It was one of the first laws that Hitler enacted, was to take our freedom of speech away. So, yeah, well, not ours, but, you know, in Germany. And once you start locking people up for things they say instead of things they do, you know, it's kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna not allow this because it's evil. But once that law's enacted, that you're limiting your rights, then it gets chiseled away and chiseled away and chiseled away. That's why some of this stuff really scares me that's going on. Hans dresses in black usually. Hans, how come you don't have your own channel? I'm just curious. You seem to be like everywhere all the time. So, Dirty Broke, if you're still in here, what's going on with you? I'm assuming that you're still working and everything. I keep watching Dirty Broke and RLC. RLC now changed his channel to Cooking and Trucking, because the two of them keep showing videos of them making dinner and breakfast and everything, and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm already fat. Matter of fact, I told Gary, okay, we're going on a diet on Monday, and because I had lost like 45 pounds, and then when Christmas came, I start eating again, and I'm like, I got out of my routine. I have to go back into my routine. I'm not happy about that. It's really sad about people not voting. Can you see the day when you see voter smiles from where they vote? Yeah, and you know what? Like, everybody's making a big deal about the 100th anniversary of women's voting. And a lot of people don't know this, but many women back then, they didn't want the vote. Like, yes, we hear about the suffragettes. Yes, they fought for the vote. More protests. You know, protests equal change. Bringing attention to the media, brings about change. But there were women that actually protested against it because the law required the person who votes to also serve in the military, be drafted like civil service, and they also had to work in the fire brigade. They had like a bucket brigade and a fire brigade. So women didn't want to do that, but that was a requirement to vote. So when they wound up giving the women the vote, they actually changed the requirements. So women got special treatment with that one. Go figure. Han says he can't do YouTube. He's very outspoken on things. Well, so am I. And so is Nene. Kingdom of the United States of America, United Kingdom of America, located in San Bernardino. It is one of the members of the Etiwanda Union. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was there. I thought it was down south somewhere. Check out Nene with the facts. Woohoo! Well, thank you. But it does. It has a queen, right? I thought that was kind of cool. It's a woman in charge over there. But, and with the virus, sometimes I think that we, as a people, scientists and everything, they think that they're trying to do good, and sometimes they create bigger messes. I was watching a really good documentary that was discussing the polio vaccine, and there were 3 different scientists all trying to create the vaccines. And apparently there are some people, virologists, that really believe that the polio vaccine is what caused HIV, because the chimpanzees, they used chimpanzee livers and kidneys, organs, to make the polio vaccine. And the chimpanzees had SIV, which is simian immune virus, and it mutated to humans because the chimpanzees, like 98% the same genetic makeup. So who's to say that this coronavirus isn't something like that? And I don't like all these people keep telling us, oh, well, you can't get it from touching, or you can get it from touching, or it's going to live on this table for 4 hours. No, it's going to live on that table for 72 hours. Like, it really seems like they don't know. And I'd rather have people just say, we don't know, than to make up excuses and make up, just guess, Hans says YouTube brings out too much drama. Yeah, it does. If you want to get involved with it. A lot of the drama people, I go on their live feeds, I leave comments. A lot of them come into my live feeds under different names. They don't want to cause drama on my channel, and I respect that. But I think if you're respectful to people, they'll be respectful back to you, as for the most part. Han says, I love Nene's channel, especially seeing Jake. Well, of course, everybody loves Jake. Michael Carter, hello everyone, like and share. I'm on here on behalf of Honey Badger. Oh, well, hi Michael, how you doing? Honey Badger, I was just in her live feed recently, and she hadn't done one in a while, and it was like, whoa, Oh, I see. Okay. You guys, I don't know what that means. But Um, the cleaning ladies are coming in. They do a really good job here of taking care of us. I'm telling you. Like, if any of you guys are Prime and you don't know, we do have masks in the terminal. You can get masks and hand sanitizers. They're now asking people that if you took home time in Jersey, New York, Detroit, New Orleans, or Chicago, I believe those 5 places, they don't really want you coming through the terminal for 14 days. If you don't have any symptoms, they just, want to try to keep everybody as safe as possible. She went live super early the other day. Yeah. I got in there and I got like in there really late, and it was like, oh darn, she's just about to sign off. So anyway, I'm so glad all you guys popped in, but I'm gonna get going because Gary is back in the truck and he's sleeping, and we're gonna try to head out of here and get to Pittston tomorrow. So Slim Shady says masks won't help. I don't think they're gonna help either, and honestly, I was in the post office with the anthrax where they came through our building and cleaned the wrong machines, and they made us wear the masks, and then they said the masks weren't going to protect us because the particles were so small it could get through the filters. So who's to say that that couldn't happen? So OIC. Oh God, it sounds like OIC. Michael, I'm sorry. But you'll find that, sometimes I'm really smart and sometimes I am a blonde airhead, but at least I can admit it. And I'm a klutz and I break things and I drop things and I always wind up beeping. Anytime I'm in the truck, it's like beep, beep. And I leave it in. I leave it in the videos, like, what the heck. But I am going to get out of here because I got to get going. And I thank you guys all so much for stopping by. I'm going to try to put up a couple more videos this week because I know I wasn't very good the past couple weeks. But I hope to see you guys out here trucking along. Bye.